Yes, it's happening, a massive Sony E3 style event on September 9th. You likely saw the announcement already, and in this video I want to go over the things we can expect. Because no, this is not a state of play style show, but more one comparable to the two PS5 showcases we saw last year. The showcase will weigh in at around 40 minutes and include updates from PlayStation Studios and some of the industry's most imaginative developers for games releasing this holiday and beyond, the PlayStation blog notes. Andy Robinson from Video Game Chronicle, who has his sources, notes that he has been told that there are some super announcements in this. And we got more people with knowledge hyping this event up. So what are those super announcements going to be? We'll go over my predictions, recent leaks, rumors, and of course answer one of your questions at the end of the video. If you like the big Sunday videos, they are back. We finally got news to talk about. Then totally leave a like to show your support. And let's go. Almost a year ago now, we saw the logo for the God of War sequel. Like, this was at a similar PS5 showcase event in September 2020, the last big press conference Sony did. So yes, it's really a safe bet that God of War Ragnarok, or whatever it will be called, will be shown at this new event. For the July State of Play, they for example said that this showcase will not include updates on the next God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, or the next generation of PlayStation VR, while the blog post announcing this September 9th event only notes PlayStation's next generation of VR won't make an appearance this time, but there will be plenty of great PS5 games from developers large and small. So yeah, if God of War would not be here, they would have said it. And yes, I totally think that Forbidden West will get a big trailer too. Not a gameplay walkthrough, but hopefully a trailer that did similar to when they announced the Zero Dawn release date at E3 2016. Here they showed the beginning of the game and how diverse the world looks. And now that we got the February 18th, 2022 date, I think it's time to unleash way more info. But going back to God of War, because the director on the first God of War and God of War 2, David Jaffe, who is doing YouTube now, has been teasing more about the game. For example, that it might be 40 hours long. So that will likely include way more side content if you're into that. We of course already saw a ton of optional content and realms in the 2018 game. So they will likely double down on that. But Jeffy also teased two other things for the Sony show he knows are going to be there.
What I know for sure, and I won't tell you what they are, is I know there are two titles that will be shown Thursday. Both of those titles reflect the big Sony that a lot of people love and champion about Sony first party, okay?
Pretty exciting stuff, right? So more big single player focused games, I would imagine. And looking at Sony's first party studios, I think we can make some educated guesses as to which studios will show their new games. Because Sucker Punch and Housemarque, for example, just released their stuff, so I don't think we will see them here. We know Polyphony Digital is of course doing Gran Turismo 7. I'm sure we will see that here, maybe with a release date, but I don't think that is what David Jaffe is hinting at. One of those titles could totally be God of War, but we also know that Sony Band, after Days Gone, are now working on a very exciting new IP that they are very passionate about. They're building on the deep open world systems that they developed with Days Gone, Herman Hulst noted in a blog post a while back. Days Gone now launched more than 2 years ago. Of course, they had the PC release this year. And we know that the studio kind of went through some difficult times working on Uncharted like first, immediately after Days Gone, but that project seems to be shelved now. So it's still likely early, but we could already see a tease for it. I do think that Spiderman 2 is more likely though. Just a small teaser trailer, totally more than the logo I think that we got for God of War last year. Sure, Insomniac has also been busy with Ratchet & Clank, but that is made by a different team, and not the full Spider-Man team was on Miles Morales. It was Brian Horton who was creative director on the standalone release, while Brian Intihar, the creative director on Part 1, stayed in the background. It has been great to also work with Brian Intihar, who directed the first game, as he continues to imagine big things for Marvel's Spider-Man universe. This was Brian Horton at the reveal of Miles Morales in June 2020, so I think we might see that next step on September 9th, and I thought the DualSense image at the end of the No Way Home trailer was kinda random, but it does make it clear that they want some sort of game tie-in with this big movie coming out later this year. And having actual footage of a new Spider-Man game to show in maybe cinemas before you watch the movie or after the next trailer would be huge. So that's why I think we will likely get that Spider-Man 2 teaser, although it's of course way less likely than God of War and Horizon. Bluepoint is not a first party yet, but that might change during this show. As you might know, Sony Japan already shared a pre-made image on Twitter, which they later removed. Like, that can't be coincidence. So maybe they will announce that they acquired Bluepoint alongside announcing their next project. Rumors suggest that it's going to be a Metal Gear Solid remake, and after the Demon's Souls and Shadow of the Colossus remake, I would love a reimagination of Metal Gear Solid. Konami seems to be going around with their IP to more capable developers, so maybe this is one of the deals they made. I also would not be surprised if that long-rumored Silent Hill reboot or just a new game in that series will also be here. I'm just curious to see who will make it. Blooper team behind the recently released Medium has a deal to also make a Silent Hills game, but there should be 2 projects in the franchise in the works, with the other one likely being further along. Another major first party that will likely show something is Naughty Dog. I see a ton of people talk about the standalone multiplayer game, likely based on the Factions multiplayer from The Last of Us, and Sony Band is by the way helping them with that. But we got like a ton of job listings for that standalone multiplayer game very recently, so it still seems relatively early, while The Last of Us remake is likely way further along. And if they want to bundle that with a Last of Us Part 2 PS5 Enhancements Edition, likely a director's cut, I think now is the time to do that. Sony's talking about games releasing this holiday and beyond, which of course means we see Call of Duty with maybe some exclusive content like PlayStation always has. I doubt we see Deathloop because they already showed that a couple of times. Kina might show up, although that's also really close. We only got 40 minutes, we have to remember that. No, but I really would not be surprised if they announce something that is still coming out in 2021, because apart from September, this fall is pretty bare bones for PlayStation exclusives. And Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut and the Death Stranding director's cut were all announced very close to release, so maybe that is what's going to happen with the Last of Us director's cut as well, that we see it this year. We also got heavy rumors about a Bloodborne reimagination for PS5. I know you've likely heard this before, but now Tim Rogers, who likely has some connections, really seems sure that something is going to happen at a next Sony event. So maybe that release is also still planned for this year. To get even crazier, other rumors suggest after Elden Ring, From Software is making a new PlayStation 5 exclusive, although it's likely not Bloodborne 2. Like, totally take this one with a grain of salt, but Sony is totally aware of how big Bloodborne was on PS4 and how big it would be if they could secure another exclusive from this developer. So if that is true, then already teasing it here would be pretty big. A game that might get a sequel, it's very likely actually, is Alan Wake. It seems that it just entered full production though, after of course being in the concept phase for a long time after Control released, I would imagine. And there seems to be an Alan Wake remastered version coming October 5th, as digged up by Wario64, with Daniel Ahmed saying that it will be announced next week. So yeah, in the week of the September 9th event. We saw Control recently on PS Plus, and we know that Sony has a good relationship with Remedy, so I can totally see them reveal Alan Wake 2 here. And I also looked at the other big third-party games we saw at the previous PS5 showcases last year, like the GTA 5 next-gen version. If that is still coming this year, I'm sure they will show it here. Square Enix has multiple PS5 console exclusives coming, showcasing Final Fantasy 16 or Forspoken here, seems like a safe bet. Although Square will also do a 50-minute long event during Tokyo Game Show, so they might want to save some stuff for that. Marvel's Avengers is going to showcase their roadmap the day before the September 9th event, so maybe they then tease that a Spiderman reveal, their next character of course, will be at this Sony event. We don't know what Capcom is really releasing next in terms of big titles. It seems that Dragon's Dogma 2 is up next according to leaks, so maybe they reveal it here. And we of course have Warner, who will do their DC Vendome event with new info on Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad on October 16th, but the big reveal from Warner last year was Hogwarts Legacy. It was actually the most watched trailer coming out of that Sony showcase, so I totally think we will see the game again if they got new stuff to show. And personally, I'm just really curious what Monolith Productions is working on. It has been almost 4 years since Shadow of War released. So are they gonna do a new Lord of the Rings title? I saw some people speculate about a Matrix game. Something I hope that we finally see it. Some other quick predictions. I don't think Kojima will be here. Sure, it would be awesome if he somehow was linked to the potential Metal Gear Solid remake or the Silent Hill reboot, but I don't think that will be the case, and that he actually is going to do something with Xbox. Like, those rumors seem pretty likely after Death Stranding just did not really set the world on fire in terms of sales. I know there are rumors about a potential Death Stranding 2. I don't think that will happen, but we will see. What we do know is that the director's cut of Death Stranding gets a trailer 1 day before the Sony event. Another prediction is that there will be more cross-gen games. Maybe you already saw the news that Sony changed their stance. If you buy a Horizon Forbidden West PS4 copy, you now get a free PS5 upgrade. So great that they changed that. But in that blog post, Jim Ryan, the CEO of course, also noted that future cross-gen games will have a $10 upgrade path, and that will apply to the next God of War, Gran Turismo 7, and any other exclusive cross-gen PS4 and PS5 title published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. So yeah, there are more coming, seems pretty likely. I hope it's not Spiderman 2. I really want that to be PS5 exclusive. Ratchet & Clank showed what a PS5 only game can do. So applying that to a next Spider-Man would be really awesome. So I don't hope they hold that game back, and by the time Spider-Man 2 comes out, you would think that the PS5 is more easily obtainable, right? Yeah, Last of Us multiplayer, Horizon multiplayer, that is still rumored by the second team. If you go to Killzone.com right now, then you really see that they are like retiring that website, and that it will be linked to PlayStation.com in the future. So I think that series is over, and like, we still have rumors of a multiplayer game. They are looking for multiplayer people, so I think that that will indeed apply to Horizon multiplayer. Would be crazy if they already announced it here. I think it will be after Forbidden West, but we will have to wait and see. So yeah, I could see that Horizon multiplayer game and the Last of Us multiplayer game be cross-gen too, because they are based on titles that are also on PS4. Bran asked a question during a previous Sunday video. You can of course also leave a question in the comment, and then I might answer it in the next Sunday video. It's a big one. In short, Ratchet has been getting a lot of love. Why are we not seeing that for Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper, and will Sony go back to those? I really think it's because Insomniac has the resources to put towards Ratchet & Clank. They of course, like I already said, have 2 studios, one focused on Ratchet & Clank and the other focused on Spider-Man. And I also think Ratchet is more popular. Like, they made way more games in that series after Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper were kind of already done. And I don't think Sucker Punch wants to make a new Sly Cooper game, and Naughty Dog certainly doesn't seem interested in making a Jak and Daxter game. They already got a ton of stuff going on. So Sony has to then go to another team to work on one of those franchises. Maybe Sumo Digital, who did the Sackboy Adventure game. But yeah, then you're looking at a game with a potential of like 1-2 million copies, if you're lucky, for a Sly Cooper or Jak and Daxter game. I don't think Sony is like putting resources into that. They are looking at the big bucks now. They want every title to have the potential to sell 10 million. So I don't think we will see those games again. Maybe in a PlayStation All-Stars future, or like some tie-in, or maybe in the new Astro's Playroom, something like that, but not like dedicated new games. Would love to be wrong, of course. I will be live reacting to the Sony event, of course, on September 9th with Joyce and Dennis, so hope you join us here. We'll have a countdown timer up closer to the event. Like, subscribe, of course, for more Sunday videos. They are back. We've been like kind of figuring out what to do, but there has been like really no news during the summer. So now we are hopefully back with a weekly Sunday video, so subscribe to miss nothing. Check out my Horizon video with new details on the game after the pre-order announcement. And for now, I will see you very soon. We got a big week ahead, and of course during the stream. So goodbye.